Hi everyone, and welcome again to my channel. So today we're going to be making this stunning dress. It is beautiful, it is easy to make, it is a beginner friendly. If this is something you would like to make, stick around and let's jump right into it. Okay, so for this tutorial I have 6 yards over here, and I think I ended up using about 4 yards in total because of the way that you're going to be cutting it. So I think to be on the safe side, you're gonna need about 4 yards, especially if you're my size. For example, if you're like a size 10 or something and you're like 5'8", so this is gonna be a perfect size for you. So for the width of your fabric, you need to be using the measurements of your bust. So this is what I've put everything on the screen for you, so you should be able to follow along. And to start off, you want to section off 1" of the top, and then you want to go in with your neck measurement. So the back neck measurement, that's what I'm starting with, and then I'm going to be using 6 inches width and 1 inch depth for the front neckline is going to be 2 inches in depth, so it's going to be a little bit lower in the front. So just draw out your neckline like so, and once you do that, then you want to just go in and put in your shoulder measurement. My shoulder measurement is 8 inches, so you want to go ahead, so on that shoulder measurement, then come down by 1 inch for your shoulder slant, then draw in your shoulder slant. Very simple, right? So next thing you want to do now is to figure out your armhole measurement. So I'm going to be using 8 inches. Depending on how wide you want your arm area to be, underarm area to be, go ahead and do that. Then the next thing you want to do is find your bust line. My bust line is 10, and you want to just draw the line like so. So on the bust line, then you're gonna need your bust measurement plus some allowance to, because it's a freestyle, it's not gonna be your exact bust measurement. So my bust measurement normally will be like 9, but I'm gonna be adding some allowance to that, which is then going to make it like 11 inches. So that's like 2 extra inches over there. So yeah, so just want to go ahead and do that, and then once you've done that, then figure out the length of the top half of the dress. So the top half of my dress is about, so the top half I'm using 29, so but the entire length of my dress should be 61. So all of these measurements, I'm taking into consideration my sewing allowance as well, because I'm going to be joining the 2 segments together. So you want to add 1 inch for your sewing allowance to join everything together, and also remember to add your hemming allowance. So once all of this is done, you're pretty much done with the top half of the dress. You want to draw out your underarm curve like so. Once you've done that, then you want to add your 1/2 inch sewing allowance to the shoulder, and then to the sides as well. Then once you finish doing that, you're ready to cut out your fabric. So I'm going to be using the same pattern to cut out the second pattern, which is going to be the front one. So the only necessary adjustment here is the neckline, because the front neckline is going to be a little bit lower. So just make that adjustment to your front neckline and you're good to go. So I decided to add pockets to my dress. So this is very much optional. Just measure from the neckline where you want your pockets to sit and mark at that point on the sides, and then attach your pocket pieces to the top half of the dress. So you want to make sure that you're attaching the pockets to the right side of the garment. So essentially the pocket pieces should be facing right side on top of the right side of your top piece. So add it to the 4 sides, the front piece, the back piece, and then make sure that you sew the pockets in place. So once the pocket pieces are in place, you then want to go ahead and pin the shoulders together. You want to pin the sides and also pin around the pocket pieces. So this is where you're going to be sewing next. So essentially you're going to be sewing the shoulders the sides, and then round the pocket pieces. So now the top half is done and the pockets are in place, so I'm just going to go ahead and finish the neckline and also the arm area with my bias tape, and I'll be right back. Okay, so now that the top half is done, so it's time to do the bottom part. So the bottom part, you want to go ahead and mark the center point of your top half. So you want to go ahead and fold it like so, and then mark the center part. So once you finish doing that, you want to go ahead and then cut out what you need for your bottom half. So then once you finish doing that, once you have your long piece ready for the bottom half, you want to sew a gathering stitch on one side, the side you're going to be attaching to the top half, and then you want to sew the other side, you're going to be hemming it, that's going to be the bottom of the dress. So once you finish sewing the gathering stitch on one side, you want to sew the sides of that long piece together so you have a loop like so. So after you finish doing that, you want to then feed in the top half right side facing up, and then the bottom half is going to be the wrong side facing up, so both sides are right side facing each other. I hope that makes sense. So now at this point, you want to go ahead and be matching the notch points that you've already marked on both of these fabrics. So the bigger fabric is the bottom piece, where you're now going to have to gather into place to match the width of the top half. So this is the part that might be a little bit tricky, so you want to take your time in pulling the fabric together so that everything it's where they're supposed to be. Make sure you use your notch points. This is going to help you a lot. So pull everything together, pin everything into place. Once you pin everything into place and you've distributed the gathers evenly, you're ready to take that to the sewing machine. Sew all the way around that. Once you finish sewing all the way around that, you're pretty much good to go. We're halfway there. And then once you finish doing that, that's pretty much the dress done. Honestly, it's as simple as that. So the only other thing you now have to do is just hem your dress. Once you finish hemming your dress, Bob's your uncle, the dress is done. You have a fabulous, beautiful dress that you can wear all summer round. So I hope you find this tutorial very useful. If you have, please give me a thumbs up. Make sure you share with your friends and family, and I will see you on my next tutorial. Here are some photos that I took earlier. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. I'll see you on my next one. Take care.